Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. In this video we're going to be taking a first look at S Class Davie, who is a limited edition S Class character obviously that's going to be coming to the game, and he's going to be coming onto the promo wheel. He has got an event that's going on right now, and his character in terms of the visuals, it associates heavily with this event. It is a Valentine's event, effectively, with it being Davie's new love event, and it's got, you know, you've seen the roadmaps, you probably played through the starter ones, and basically this is the character that's going to be associated with that event, and he is looking very Valentine's-y for Davie, at least. He has got a box of chocolates and some roses. It looks a lot like the old Davie, quite similar, the kilt, you know, quite the Celtic get-up. Still looking crazy as ever, as Davie does. This is the third Davie to come into the game. We have had a 5-star, a 6-star, and now we have an S-class version. And it is also a different trait as well, because he is now a fast character this time round. So we'll look at his stats. Is 4,873 attack, 3,292 defense, and 4,321 HP. That is with the 30 veteran rings, so that is fully maxed out. And his trait, like I said before, is fast, and his role is damage. His adrenaline rush is called eccentric slashing, 66 AP cost, so pretty fast. Deal 500 damage to one enemy and all adjacent enemies. This character recovers from normalize and regains up to 50% of their max HP. So the first part of this is very, very strong in terms of AoE damage. Can be devastating, especially with crosshairs around. This is potentially decapping a lot of characters. 500% isn't huge, but it is just sort of borderline on getting into the higher end of damage, in my opinion. He has pretty good base attack stat. It's nearly 5k, just under 4.9. You can boost that quite heavily, easily to like 11,000, I would have thought. And that AoE damage is going to suddenly get absolutely amazing. And he is 66 AP, so that's going to go off very quickly if you want. He is a fast character, so he can go with other fast characters, 8% weapons, and yeah, this can be a big problem. The second half of this rush is not too powerful, but I think it's mainly because the first half is. He recovers from normalize, and obviously if you know, normalize disables specialist skills. So his specialist skill would be disabled if he got normalized, but then this would recover it. And he also heals himself for 50% HP, exactly like Marlon Rosie, just a little bit of a self-sustain. I don't mind that too much. Not too overpowered on the second half of things. The only problem here is that one of the few characters that does have normalize right now, there's probably going to be more normalized characters coming out in the future, is Princess. And Princess has a taunt and normalize on her active skill. So for Davie to be able to rush, he'd actually have to have taunt resist so he didn't get taunted, or that he'd have to have focus. So either you'd have to have someone who can cleanse it, or he'd have to have resist on his combat mods so that he could actually get this rush off and then cleanse the normalize as well. Now he has got an active skill, of course, and is focus, attack up, and defense up. It is initial cooldown of 3, cooldown of 3, number of uses 10. This character gets focus plus 75% attack and 50% defense for 3 turns. So there's the focus I was talking about. He can obviously only do this if he is not confused and not taunted. So he has to do this before someone like Princess would do her active. He doesn't gain any AP here, so that is obviously a bit of a downside. He would take a little bit longer in his rush, but his rush is quite quick. On a defense team, it's not going to make too much of a difference. On an attack team, again, especially if you're running a command, if you've got those 8% weapons, it won't be that much of an issue. Now, the 75% attack and 50% defense obviously will stack with weapon boosts, leader boosts, and on top of all of those, and his pretty decent base attack, he will get a really nice boost to his rush damage. Now on top of this, he does have the specialist skill Hold the Line, so if you decide not to focus him, he will get stronger as you eliminate his teammates. He'll gain 25% defense and 25% attack for every single teammate that gets downed. Once they get revived, he does lose that buff, but for instance, if all 4 of his teammates on a raid team are downed, he will get 100% attack and 100% defense. That'll be a massive boost to his rush damage. It should stack as well with that active, the weapon, leader skill, and that suddenly makes that rush damage, which is, like I said, just on the edge of doing a lot of damage. It is right there to doing huge amounts of damage. Basically, if he has the specialist skill fully up with 100% attack, that rush becomes 1,000% damage just instantly, and then suddenly it's a big issue for any team because it's full AoE and he could one-shot everybody. He has got an attached weapon, and this is probably the weakest part of Davie's kit. I like the rest of it so far, but his weapon gives 30% HP, so not really what you want. You definitely want to put attack on his weapon if you want to get the best out of the damage output he's got on his rush. A medium bonus to AP when attacking is the normal upgrade slot. You probably want to go for huge AP on attack. And then the third slot is this character gains 25 bonus HP at the beginning of each wave. And for a raid, that means just at the beginning, he'll get 25% bonus HP. It's not too bad. It means he's going to have a little bit more of a shield. He's got pretty good base HP already, so that 25% bonus HP is going to be a big boost compared to, let's say, if the defense and the HP stat was switched around. But most likely a lot of people are going to look into making this as an offensive weapon as possible, and unfortunately, kind of like Arav, fast characters don't really have that much to go to in terms of getting high damage output on their weapon, except 100% crit, and that only affects basic attacks with a character like Davie. However, I would probably just say if you're planning to put another weapon in his hands, 5-starring this weapon with the third slot it's got on there already wouldn't be a bad idea, just to keep it for something like SR, that sort of thing, because like I said in the previous video, Arav, while his third slot isn't great for raids, it's awesome for other parts of the game, and these specials in third slots could just become useful at another time. If you're going to switch a weapon into their hands anyway, you could go for an 8% weapon on Davie. It doesn't matter too much. There is also a 20% AP to self weapon within the 4-star weapon wheel, so Davie potentially could get his rush off really quick with that 66 AP. So I can see some really brutal defense teams coming along, fast teams with the AP gain. We've got some variation within the defense teams now, which is what I want to see. Generally speaking, you want to see not this ongoing chase the dragon style meta, but it's like having a variation and then having attack teams for each of these defense teams. I think this will be one of the harder teams to come up against because they will be rushing a lot quicker. I'm talking like Davies, Aravs, and then commands on defense teams. And with 20% AP to self weapons from the 4-star token wheel, you can have these characters rushing turn 1 on command. So if Davie rushes first and weakens a lot of characters, then you've got Arav following up. Arav doesn't generally need much help anyway, but it's going to make it much easier for him. Now on an attack team, Davie will need a little bit more help because you're going to rush a little bit slower there. You'd also want to make sure he's heavily buffed. The defense teams are going to have a lot more defensive stats. They're going to be able to take that hit a little bit better. Defense down is going to be really important. Attack up, that sort of thing. However, this is yet again another offensive melee character coming to the game. Another damage dealer, another fast character. And we still don't have an attack leader for melee characters who gives percentage attack stat and AP on attack. So that is definitely something we need. Something hopefully that's going to be coming soon enough in the future. We'll have to wait and see. And that will be an important character for a lot of people. There are a lot of people out there with Heng Yen, James, potentially Davie soon, Arav, and all those characters need a leader to be able to work together realistically. Now, one thing to note again on his rush, because he's got normalize cleanse, there's most likely going to be some more normalized characters coming into the game. We'll most likely see a normalize resist mod as well coming into the game, which will be very important for certain specialists. And because there could be more normalized coming into the game, there also could be stronger specialist skills, ones that we have seen before in the past, and also brand new ones. So I definitely would prioritize getting someone like Princess up, because if the game is getting to the point where normalize is seen as a common thing, you definitely need to have someone with normalize up to a reasonable standard. A lot of us got opportunities to get Princess, so definitely focus on her 6-star, getting her maxed out. She's even useful just as a 6-star. But this was Davie. I think he's a very eccentric character. He's always a very interesting character. He's very different from the rest of the Road to Survival characters. A lot of fun in terms of just how he looks, the sort of ideas that can come with Davie. I think a lot of people are Davie fans out there as well. This character has the potential to pack a big punch as well with that rush. And we'll have to see what other characters come out in the future that can work with Davie. Those defense down characters, that sort of thing, leaders, like I've said already. I think Hold the Line can be kind of underrated. The only problem I see with Hold the Line is just because of his adrenaline rush, I would probably see Davie as a focused target on a defense team. If he was to be used on defense, that Hold the Line wouldn't actually happen too often because you probably want to take him out quite quickly due to his damage output. But that is the end of my video. Do tell me what you think about Davie. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.